Look, I think that it's going to be something that you get used to, but at the same time, there are certain places that we've played at around the world in Test cricket that haven't necessarily had a massive crowd as well during the day. So I don't think it'll be too dissimilar to some of those. Likewise, we're very fortunate playing home summers that we get some amazing crowds and we have some amazing support that come and support us. So it's going to be a little bit different, but at the same time, everyone's understanding of the situation, the circumstances that we're placed in. And if you rewind 6 weeks, 8 weeks ago, and people said that we were going to get some cricket at the back end of the summer, if that was to be behind closed doors, then and people were able to watch sport on telly, then I think people would have taken it. And I think that even from, I don't know whether you've watched the golf over the last 4 days. I know I've watched that and I've been completely captivated just because there's been some live sport back on telly. Similarly with the rugby that's been back on in the Southern Hemisphere, it's been great to see live sport back on the TV. Now I think it's the level, no matter what, I think it's a level playing field. You're both playing in front of not necessarily many crowds, so it's the internal motivators that will get you through, and the will and the want to run in when it's raining, when it's windy and when it's maybe a bit chilly and not so nice. But it's the internal motivators that you'll really see come through with it within these games when they are played behind closed doors. I want to play. That's I've always said that. To be really honest with you, over a period of time, I've been really happy with my keeping. That's been a bit at the start of my career. People questioned, but people stopped kind of speaking about that over the last couple of years. And statistically, I've looked at the stats, and my stats are very good. So there's no reason why that isn't an area of which I want to be coming back into. Similarly with my batting, look, I'm pleased with the way that the training's been going back here at Yorkshire. I mentioned about going up to Durham, and then it ramps up again over the next couple of weeks. So look, I'm not ruling anything out. I want to keep my options very much open, because I've always been someone that has been quite positive about playing. There's always been challenges that have been asked, whether that be keeping wicket, whether that be batting in certain positions, in circumstances, and I'd like to hope that I've risen to those challenges. Absolutely. I mean, you look at the West Indies squad, you've obviously got a lot of experience with obviously Kemar and the skills that he possesses, and I know that he enjoys coming over here with the Duke's ball, and put that coupled with the youth and exuberance of the other guys. So look, I think they've got a very talented bowling attack, coupled with some experience and also variation, because you look at obviously the variation of having someone like Jason Holder at 6'8", comparatively to say Kemar at 6'1", would utilising a different angle. So there are differences with their bowling attack, but there are differences with everyone's bowling attack. So the left arm, right arm options, different options. You look at the Australia attack, and I'm sure that you'd have said similar things with regard to them, with their bowling attack, bowling at 90 miles an hour plus, and having four, maybe five guys that were able to do that similarly. Look, I think that first and foremost we need to get this bubble right with the test squad, because that's going to be the first test of the whole process. And once those procedures and everything's have been implemented, because they've been put in place, then things will then move and start talking about, can crossover from red ball to a white ball, can people come in and out of the bubble. Look, we've seen the government guidelines, and they're changing every single week on what you can and can't do. We saw it go from 2 people now to 6 people in gardens to, well, whatever it may be in the next steps. But that's only if certain guidelines are adhered to. So, look, we've still got 3 weeks, I think it is, until the first Test match starts. There's still a period of time after that until the one-day starts. So just at this moment in time, I think it's too far ahead to be wondering if we can chop and change and everything like that, because we don't know what the current situation of the country will be in 3 weeks' time.